basically psychic, psychologist, and a healer all in one. So it's quite hard to explain to people what is exactly I do, because it's one-on-one sessions. They're very deep when I tune in into your subconscious.
Yes.
To release you from your limitations and your fears and so on. So the webinar I came up with the idea is to say how to move from self-sabotage and inner criticism towards freedom, self-love, and inner peace.
Yes.
So that's where first part would be to explain the neuroscience behind our fears, behind our sabotaging patterns, behind our limitations and inner voice. Then to give strategies how to deal with them, say how to overcome your inner little voice. And then go into explaining what I do in my 7-week program. How it's all staged out, where and what happens, like how you come in the beginning and how you end up in the end after going through like 2-3 months working one-on-one with me.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so what is the result? Like, just if you can, is there someone you can, obviously without saying who they are, but just what were they like when they first came to see you and what were they like after they came to see you?
Yes, for example, one of the clients I started working when she was going through, she was just about to end her marriage, which was absolutely dysfunctional and quite abusive. And she was in a very low state, low self-esteem, a lot of guilt, shame, worry, fears about her future in the process. So after 3 months of working, and the results obviously unfold for months and months and months and for years to come. So like straight away she would feel huge release and relief and basically getting yourself out of a trap and seeing the future. But then like within a year later, she is free, she's super successful, her business is booming, she's beautiful, free, super sexy, full of self-love and love for herself and for her inner being, and she's in a very, very, very loving, deep relationship. So because it all comes, basically we create our outer world from inner world. So coming from the inner trap of being abused, scared, and worried about everything, becoming free, successful, and booming and radiant person.
So with that, what you're essentially selling is like a new beginning. It's a new life. So in the Facebook ad, what you want to be doing is just sharing those stories. So you know, Sally was stuck. She was in an abusive marriage. She was this. She felt like this, and yet 3 months later, she felt like this. She felt like that. Here's the pathway. On this free webinar, you can discover the pathway that made all that possible, and then you can come up with 5 other stories like that, and they become your Facebook ads, and they're the stories that you share in the webinar. And then at the end, don't talk about your program so much. Just sell them on talking with you, because when they talk with you, they'll probably sign up for the program, but you don't want to go too much into you don't want to talk about the program on the call. It's too much. You're just selling the conversation. But yeah, the webinar, I'd be looking for the webinar topic. Just keep it simple, like from self-criticism to this to that. It's too conceptual. Just new life, new beginnings, new, you know, the butterfly webinar, how a new beginning, you know, how a new beginning comes out of a 60-minute webinar, something along those lines that captures what you do in a simple way. Yeah. Cool. Who else? What have we got? Yes.
So I choose topic procrastination because from here I believe that here and then we all struggling with it, and I will line up with client of mine. First, I will explain what is procrastination, and that's delay between actions what we want to do and stopping ourselves to do it. And I would like to tie it up with client of mine because I have different approach. I sent my client to have full few days totally to procrastinate. Honestly, because we never done it. We always feel guilt.
Yeah.
We all know what we should do, but we don't do it. I said, go home, don't do nothing. Shut the door,
Yeah.
lay down, watch Netflix, YouTube, whatever. After 3 days, she becomes so bored that she moved herself up and done it more than she ever done in her life.
Yeah.
I want to explain also like what is procrastination, why we procrastinating, and strategic tools to help people to achieve results what they want by using this example, and what is benefits of doing things and why we don't do it straight away. For some people, they need to have plan. For some people, they need to have structure, because we all operate differently. And some people really need to own it. We never own our emotion. We never own that we procrastinate.
Yeah, yeah. So I think it's a good topic in a general sense, because it's something that most of us have done at some time or another. What I would say is I think you could veer too much into educating and go too much into the sort of understanding of it, rather than just demonstrating case studies of people you've helped take action on what's most important to them. So really what you're selling in a webinar like that is taking action on what's most important to you and stop putting it off, and telling stories about that in the webinar is what's going to get people to book in a call with you. Is there anyone else? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, a man here. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Dion. We'll just do this one and then we will have a break.
Yeah, just real quick. So I know it's going to be probably a bit of educational. My target market are not-for-profits.
Yeah.
And the topic is how to have a successful crowdfunding campaign, or something along of raising funds for your not-for-profit.
Yeah.
With that. So I already have an existing boot camp that we do, either from a 1 or 2 or 3 day. So the first part, obviously saying who I am, all that other intro stuff. Module 1 would be defining what crowdfunding is, different types of crowdfunding. Module 2, why crowdfunding fails, or why people have unsuccessful campaigns, because the rate is quite high, 60 to 70%, or around 60%. And then the last one is I have what's called the SLAM technique, and then just talk about the story, which is the foundation for a successful crowdfunding campaign. And then a few testimonials, because I already have them in existence, and then talking about the upcoming crowdfunding bootcamp.
Yeah, so the modules are fine. I mean, it's really, as long as you've been able to raise a lot of money for not-for-profits through crowdfunding, and as long as you tell those stories throughout each module, and as long as that's in the landing page when people sign up for it, then if people want that benefit, then they're going to want to speak to you about it. So you don't need to sort of overthink too much in terms of the content. You do need to share enough so people know you've got a secret sauce, and the secret sauce isn't just ketchup. You've got to be, secret sauce, which sounds like it is. Then you'll be fine, because you've got very clear result. And if they want those results, they speak to you to get those results. So that'll be fine. So just share those amazing stories and enough about your secret sauce. Yeah. Cool. We can do one more, or if no one's got one more, we'll call it a day. Yeah.
I was wondering if I could use my supplement and have it that I start a webinar. Wondering if I could use my supplement, start a webinar with talking to somebody who was about to take the supplement to start, say, a 3-month trial. They could go through what their beauty routine is at the moment, all the different creams and potions or whatever that they use.
Yep.
Then I would compare that to 5 seconds a day to take 2 tablets.
Yep.
And we'll talk to you again in a month's time, 2 months' time, 3 months' time.
Yep.
And then in the meantime, show the results I've actually been getting.
Yeah.
Would that work?
So I'm a sad and pathetic individual. So one of the things I love to do is I watch infomercials and televangelists. Now, why do I watch infomercials and televangelists? Because they are absolute. Oh, they're amazing. They're amazing. So they are masters of persuasion. And why do I mention that? So infomercials, you want to be thinking like watch a 2-minute Billy Mays infomercial spot. Anyway, just go onto YouTube, Billy Mays, who's that guy? Anthony Sullivan. So just watch infomercials and proactive infomercials, and that's what you want to be modeling for your type of product. Because what you just need is a 3-minute demonstration proof video. You don't need a webinar. You need 3-minute demonstration proof. Like what we were talking with our friends at Dial a Bed. You don't necessarily need a webinar for that. It can be a 3 to 4 minute video. Your best salesperson demonstrating, why pay $6,000 for this bed, which has exactly the same materials as this bed. Let me show you the inside. Let me show, so you just need demonstration proof. Yeah, without demonstration proof, New York City would only be 4 stories high, because what they did was no one wanted to use elevators, because the first time they went in, people died. So what Otis, whatever his name is, that created the first elevator, he would have a glass elevator, and he would go in himself, and he'd show people him going in the elevator and show how it would stop at the right point. And by him demonstrating that, people felt comfortable going in elevators. So New York was able to go high, because no one wants to walk up 20 flights of stairs. So demonstration proof is the most powerful proof. So for these sort of consumable type products, what you want is sort of 3-minute videos that you can put on Facebook. That's what you want to do. So yeah.
And John, the other thing I thought Desmond should do, because when the lady does use the tablets, and within, I don't know, hours, the wrinkles are gone.
Yeah.
Then you take a leaf out of your evangelist thing and just, Desmond, you have to see if you can do that. We've got a microphone for Desmond. Desmond, what I want you to do.
Yeah.
You've been up and they, hallelujah, brother.
Hallelujah, brother.
That's right. That's right. So instead of come to Jesus, it's come to Desley. So that's wonderful. Cool. Thanks so much, guys. You've been really excellent. So that's wonderful. Thank you.
Could I just say one more thing? I've been banging on about my supplement, but I'm also interested in people giving me their names and details so they can do a free 3-month trial with my supplement.
So what Desley's looking for is for you to walk up to her and say, I'm looking ugly and old.
Yeah.
Can I have a couple of your tablets?
Anyway, if you would like to go on my list for the trial, be most welcome to have you on board. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dave. I just prefer, quite frankly, the easiest way I do it is that I think like Photoshop around about here is the easiest way. Okay, so therefore, guys, we're going to break for just a 10-minute break. And let me tell you what's coming up. We're going to blow you away with a hot seat or two and just show you how this stuff can work really, really quickly. Completely unprepared. It's not like we've decided to sketch up stuff here and then I just lift the paper up. We'll do a hot seat or two. And also, one of our masterclass members has popped in to say hello in an impromptu way. And I said to him, can you just hang around for a little while after morning tea and just tell you what it's like to actually implement stuff, because this guy is a master implementer. And we know that the theme for the entire weekend has started with the letter I, and it is implement. The other way of saying that, I think in a more delicate way, is if you turned it into an acronym, would be DS, and that's do shit, okay? So therefore, this particular guy does shit, and he's, doing very well out of it. So therefore, I thought maybe just after morning tea, if he was kind enough to just pop up and tell you how he does stuff, then it might give you a bit of inspiration to actually do stuff, because when you do stuff, generally things change, okay? We'll see you in about, say, 10 or 15 minutes. It's just at the moment now on 20, is it 20 to 12? Yeah. So how about we be back here about 5 to 12? That's all right, okay? Good. And by the way, some people have asked, how do we get this stuff implemented? We'll tell you in the lunch break. We'll invite you to hang around if you want at lunchtime, and we'll show you how we can implement this stuff for you. So anyone who's asked me that, just hang around at lunchtime, okay?